right, we're getting close here. So I have the pleasure tonight of introducing Tavish Carduff. To say that Tavish grew up in the flying disc community is an understatement, and the word community is one that you've been hearing all night long. Tavish was raised with a Frisbee in her hand. Both her mom and dad were avid enthusiasts and competitors. At all hours of the day and night, Frisbees were being thrown in her neighborhood. When she was 10, Crazy John Brooks cut a groove in the center of her light blue 141-gram world-class Frisbee, dabbed some silicone on it, and tried to teach her freestyle. Her interest in disc sports at the time, though, was mostly peripheral and became more about the community for her. These disc enthusiasts were her extended family. Tavish didn't start playing disc golf until her 30s. In 2003, she started to compete, and the sport quickly grew to be a powerful force in her life. She played in 5 tournaments that first year, including the Am Worlds and the Kansas City Wide Open. She's gone on to compete in 139 tournaments to date and has 38 career wins. There are 2 particular wins that stick out the most for Tavish. The Rocky Mountain Women's Championship in 2015. Her desire to win that tournament was fueled by the fact that it was the same weekend as the Kansas City Wide Open, and she thought, if I'm going to miss my beloved Wide Open, I better win this thing. In 2018, she competed in and won the Pro Masters World Championships. But not only did she win, she beat the second place finisher in her age group by 29 strokes. It was a decisive victory, to say the least. When she started competing nationally, she helped form a group of women's players who became a support group for each other. They called themselves Team Penetration, or Team P for... Team P! There you go. Support. And they would make sure to play in the same tournaments year after year for more than 20 years. Tavish told me that disc golf and the community surrounding the sport has taught her many great things about life. It's taught her about having a love for something that we can all have in common. It's taught her about clearing her mind and about breathing with intention, especially when a disc hits the basket and then rolls OB. It's taught her about giving back in a quiet and understated way, like carrying extra discs in her bag for when she sees another woman out on the course. She will offer her a disc and a few pointers she's learned along the way. Tavish has been on the board of the Kansas City Flying Disc Club for many years. She's been heavily involved with Kansas City Disc Golf Day and, of course, the Kansas City Wide Open. Her community is disc golf, and that little plastic disc has been a valuable piece of how she gets to experience life. Please welcome Tavish Carduff.
Hi, thank you everyone for being here today. Today is especially important for me. I was born in Emporia, first of all, and both of my parents are disc players. My mother, ultimate player for many years, Sid Carduff, played on a national team, and I think played with the Betties several times.
Yeah.
And my dad, Duffy, disc golfer, and friends with all these guys. So all of these people that were mentioned here, Tom Engel, Ace Mason, Crazy, Hal, Cassius, those people all were at my house when I was a kid. Those were my dad's friends, and those are the people that I grew up around. So when I grew up and got to meet communities outside of disc communities, I was struck by the difference in just human beings. Because those of us attached to a Frisbee, to a disc, carry something in our heart that connects us to other human beings. And I think we've all touched on that, the family aspect of this. But I could not feel more grateful for every disc golfer, every ultimate player, every freestyler that I come across. It's just a built-in person that I'm connected to. It's a built-in friend. And the play itself, I love it. But I started playing because my brother and his wife asked me to come out just to get away from my 3 kids for a little bit. And in doing that on Thursday nights, and here I am on a Thursday night, for a couple of years I got good enough to start playing tournaments. And as he mentioned, I played in the Am Worlds my first year. I didn't know anything. I didn't even show up with a mini. But I was able to learn rules. People taught me things. People helped me. And I was able to become an actual good player. Standing right here, I'm very honored and also surprised because I feel like so much of what I do in this community is very quiet. Even being on a board, these guys are so big and loud and known. My stuff is generally pretty quiet. I'm a phone call. I'm a one-on-one conversation. I'm someone you meet on the course and quietly we have things together. So I don't do a lot that's loud. both of my parents, as I say, born in Emporia, they're both critically ill right now. And I left my dad's hospital bed today with him saying, I want you to go, I want you to be there. And from his hospital bed, he sent flowers, and they came down here with a card. So my family, my brother is an avid player, Gatekeeper Carduff, if anybody knows him. I feel like I'm accepting this for my family. Hi, Beth. I was good until I just saw that. It's all right. That was at one of my very first tournaments, and she was 17 years old when I met her, so I was as new to this sport as she is, and we joke in our family that we're the poor man's Jenkins family. Kansas City known. So perfectly you show up when you did. Thank you so much. I have no idea who nominated me or why, but this couldn't be a better day for it, and I couldn't be more honored. And thank you to all my friends